Hello guys, how are you doing? Modi as a digital content creator or influencer is a very interesting aspect. I was watching Nikhil Kamat's WTF on YouTube, and YouTube influencers were participating in the NAS Daily, for example, or Tanmay Bhatt or Ranveer Allabadia were part of the discussion. And an interesting topic that was discussed was in today's scenario, a person can be a professional, for example, engineer and YouTube content creator or influencer. Previously, you can either be engineer or doctor, or you can be a content creator. Now it is and. You can be engineer and content creator. You can be doctor and content creator. You can be a lawyer and content creator, or you can be a food blogger and a chartered accountant or working in the finance industry. So this freedom to work on the passion as well as on the professional side is the boon of today's situation because of the internet boom and availability of social media platforms. So the point that was discussed was Tanmay Bhatt, I think Tanmay and Nas they said we certainly see that in coming days we will see a president, a digital content creator or influencer becoming a president of a country, and it is not very far from truth, because while just watching this video WTF on YouTube, Nikhil Kamar's WTF, I could not help but think that we already have a prime minister who is a influencer as digital content creator, because Narendra Modi, if you look at him, he's a astute politician, and he has used social media so meticulously and so effectively that he's one of the biggest digital influencers across the globe. Just to give you an idea, when Mr. Modi came into politics, as you are aware, he's coming from RSS background, and he worked in the BJP cadres like a secretary, general secretary, and I think in 2000 when Keshubhai Patel in Gujarat CM, he resigned. Atal Bihari Vajpayee Sahib called him and asked him to take reins of Gujarat as a CM. And within 4 days, October 2000, and within 4 months, I think January 2020 to 2001, Godhra riots happened, and the bogie was burnt, etc. So his taste with fire, baptism or fire, we can say that's so political. His political entry was not a very comfortable situation, and it kept on this particular incident, like Godhra riots, for example. It kept on haunting him for the next 15, 20 years. So the erstwhile political elite of Congress and the opposition parties obviously tried to corner Narendra Modi throughout the next 10, 15 years, because they knew that Narendra Modi is a capable leader, and with multiple chief minister terms in Gujarat, he had proved himself as a astute politician and a very good executioner of policies and the structures and reforms. So they were certainly looking at him as a potential candidate or potential competition. So when 2014 elections, Lok Sabha elections started playing out, Narendra Modi was always targeted because of his past, because of his perceived links with Gujarat riots, etc. So if you look at it, the elite, the ruling elite, Congress and their allies, they had absolute control over print media, TV channels, other media, the reach, the message or the content or the information or the news that was reaching to common people was always through Lutyens Delhi and all the groups of channels that were controlled primarily by Congress and their allies. And it has been going on for 60, 70 years. So Mr. Narendra Modi had no basically he was finding it very difficult to get into Lutyens Delhi. That is one part, and he may not have even tried hard, because then he must have thought about. See, basically, he's an outsider, and ruling elite in Delhi always resists any outsider coming in Delhi and rule. So while Narendra Modi was trying to reach Delhi as a prime minister from Gujarat as a chief minister, he had certainly faced a lot of resistance and persecution, if I may say. That his Godhra links, etc., etc., Sorabji case, वगैरह. There were a lot of things that were tried by Congress and ruling elite to make sure that Narendra Modi does not rise up and does not reach to the population of India, because they knew that if you can control him in Gujarat as a prime minister candidate, he will not be able to influence, or he will not be able to sway Uttar Pradesh and Bihar and the cow belt. And if he's not able to get into cow belt, obviously becoming a PM is a distant dream or possibility. So while thinking about all these aspects of difficulties in getting into Lutyens and ruling elite in Delhi, one very, I think by fortune, one very interesting thing that was happening in the technology industry was internet was reaching to most of people, many people. Yeah, smartphones had brought the internet to their palms and hands, and the young population was taking over. So a lot of these things helped Narendra Modi sir while he was preparing for the 2014 elections. And while technological platforms were coming up of social media, Orkut was out, then YouTube was coming up, Instagram came at a later stage, Twitter was there, and then WhatsApp was taking roots, and then there was Facebook. So all these aspects, Narendra Modi saw it as he must have seen these digital platforms as the best tool to reach as many people without any agents or without any obstructions or without anybody in between. So he could use these digital media platforms directly to speak to the end user or the voter or the citizen of India, and he has used it meticulously. And we can see that 2014 was the inflection point wherein digital media or the if we are to say, he has basically outsmarted the ruling elite by using the other tactics or other means of influencing or reaching or impressing a lot of young population of the voters, and they got the BJP got the majority in 2014 elections. Just to give the background, while coming over all these obstacles set by Congress and allies in its political roadmap, I think the easiest way, that other than obviously political branding and the efficiency of the Gujarat model or the allies, BJP, NDA, National Democratic Alliance, all these allies, I think the biggest differentiator that played in 2014 was the brand or the cult following that Mr. Narendra Modi built in the last 6-7 years before 2014 even came into picture. For example, let me just give you an idea. Narendra Modi had joined YouTube in 26 August 2007. On Facebook, he's active from May 2009. On Twitter, January 2009, and Instagram, November 14. So this is all before, I think, almost everything, all the four platforms, while actually in 2014, while winning the election, or 6-7 years before he thought of before he actually ran for the prime ministerial post. And while working on these social platforms as a chief minister of Gujarat, he had conveyed his messages, vision, application, menus to his population using all this social media. Now, while preparing for the PM's post, obviously as a political leader, there were certain steps that he must have followed. Harvard Business Review article, there was one Harvard HBR review article in 1995 written by Cotter. So the first biggest, I think, the differentiating factor between Mr. Modi and his competition in 2014 election was the steps that he had followed. First is establishing a sense of urgency. So while positioning himself as a PM candidate, he always emphasized on India as a superpower. How do we get out of the morass or the problems that we are facing for 60-70 years, and then forming a powerful guiding coalition or alliance or ecosystem. So right from RSS that has reached to the grassroots in India, then the political allies like Shiv Sena, etc., all these parties. Then the industrial alliances or the supporters. So it was not easy, because whatever Congress and ruling elite, they already have inroads into all these ecosystem. But to overcome this ecosystem and build new alliances with the political parties, the industrial partners, or the social influencers who are doing a fantastic work, and making sure that he has a vision about what, for example, if he is becoming prime minister, what vision he has for India. That was the crucial point. Creating a vision is the third step. The fourth stage is obviously he has a very, as you know, Swarnim Bharat is the vision. And the important point here is the fourth step. We're communicating vision to the population, to the masses. I think having a vision is a different thing, but communicating it to the masses and making sure that they participate in the vision and the call to action, what exactly needs to be done. Until unless we inform we keep this population or the voters or the citizens informed about our vision, what we expect, what steps are to be taken, and make sure that they are wholeheartedly participating in the vision, then actually miracles or magic happens, and that is exactly what we have seen. The fifth point was empowering others and to act on the vision, so that the necessary delegation of authority and responsibility. And then that, so there were next stages. But important point is the creating a vision, creating allies, creating coalition, and creating a sense of urgency. For example, 5 billion economy, 10 billion economy, 2047 Swarnim Bharat, superpower, Vishwaguru. All these are creating a sense of urgency because we have lost the. It is way of saying that we have lost a lot of time, and it is the Amrut Kal for us to rise and shine. To say with specific timelines, by for example 2027 5 billion economy. I'm just giving an example. So these are the time bound vision or vision statements or the targets that were set, and they were actually conveyed to the right population at the right time, especially using social media platforms like YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. So just to give you an idea, and this has been happening for last now, today's 20, this is 2024. This is happening for last 15, 17 years. Now, if you look at now, because of the internet boom or internet explosion, almost 692 million, that means 69 crore people are active internet users in India. 69.2 crore active internet users, out of which 46.2 crore are active social media platform users. So when I say Mr. Narendra Modi has been working on this social media platform for 10-15 years, and the scope of reaching this population is 46.2 active social media users. So if a political leader is present on these social media platforms and he's sharing his vision, he's making sure that people are interested, the topics are interested and people are reciprocating, then he can reach almost 69 crore people that are using internet by whatever means, SMS, WhatsApp, or YouTube videos, or songs, or simple messages. So these are the barring. The important point here to understand is, let us consider Congress under ruling elite was managing print media and TV channels. Now in the last 10 years it has changed a lot, but this is where exactly he started, when print media was not at his not in his control, or he was not able to use it proficiently because of whatever reasons. So this is where he started, and this is what the scope is now. 69.2 million active internet users, which are bound to grow, and 46.2 active social media users, which are also bound to grow. The most important point here is 46.2. Most of this, the young population, almost 40% young population is on 40% of the total our population is on social media, and they can be very easily reached using all the social media platforms. This is exactly where Mr. Modi is making a difference, because having a vision is important thing. A lot of political parties, the Congress, BJP competition, they absolutely do not have any vision. And even if some of them have vision, there's no system, or there's no mechanism, or there's no mechanism of distribution of the vision. They cannot reach to the larger population using social media platforms like this, or any other media for that matter, and share the vision and make sure that the population participates in, they wholeheartedly accept the vision and participate wholeheartedly again. So call to action is not there. This is exactly what the biggest differentiator is. Mr. Modi is an astute politician. He is doing excellent job in the governance, not only in India but globally also, and he's making sure that all this information, all the vision, all the work that has been done is reaching to the population at the right time using social media platforms and other tools, even government machinery. So these are some of the aspects that I wanted to share with you. And coming back to the point wherein he has used these social media platforms so effectively, just to give you an idea where all it started. For example, Ab Ki Baar Modi Sarkar 2014 slogan. What was basically Ab Ki Baar Modi Sarkar is a very simple sentence or slogan, but whatever has happened in the last 16, 17 years, let us forget about 60, 70 years, let us forget about it. Now this time I have a vision, and if you can join me, if you can support me, if you can help me, I will certainly make sure that the vision will be translating into the reality. So Ab Ki Baar Modi Sarkar, that is, I'm basically asking you to vote for me. Then Janta maaf nahi karegi. So whatever mistakes that were made in the last 60 years, the population or the citizens are not going to forgive you, and they will certainly make sure that you will be made to pay for it by voting for BJP or voting for Mr. Modi. Then Achhe Din Aane Wale Hain. This is again a hopeful message, wherein making sure that the population is behind you and making sure that they are looking at some hopeful situation wherein they see that if we go ahead with this vision, there is certainly a development growth for us, not only as an individual but as a society, but as a country, as a state. So this is basically making sure that the people are aware of the vision, people are aware of the plan of the vision, how it is to be implemented, executed, and people are aware of call to action. Just to give you more examples, for example, Swachh Bharat. Again, I think Modi loves three letter campaigns. For example, Man Ki Baat, Chai Pe Charcha. Then there is Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. Then there is digital India. Then there is Make in India. Then there is Beti Bachao Beti Padhao. Then there is Bhim, who is an Indian UPI. Then Jan Dhan Yojana. Then Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. Then भ्रष्टाचार में डूबे लोग, the words that are coined while the electioneering. Then माँ बेटे की सरकार, Shahzada. Then there was Mamuli Chai Wala. So it's basically making sure that I'm an outsider, but I need your help, and I'm not an elite. I'm not a ruling class. I'm just one of you who is aspiring to be prime minister to make the change. Mamuli Chai Wala, Garib Maa Ka Beta. Again, same thing. Dand do, the people who have made mistakes for 60 years, we must punish them. Dand do ya saza do. Secular. So some people who are using secular, so the caste and the politicizing of the caste factors and the cornering up certain aspects of people, certain section of the people, and going beyond the limits. This is what was referred to as secular people. Mar Jawan, Mar Kisan. For example, there is no care. There is nobody is thinking about welfare of Jawans, that is soldiers and farmers and Kisan. So these were Sepoy, for example. How do we differentiate that I'm an outsider, I'm not a Delhiite, I'm not a ruling elite? So then the words that were coined to refer to these people are Aptards or Liptards or Sepoys who were of the British mentality. Then Macaulay Putra, for example, who were always speaking the English and always advocating European or the Western cultures and Western norms and Western beliefs. Then pappus and commies and all these aspects. So these were the catchphrases that were used in social media campaigns and in speeches to make sure that people get the message, people get what I'm trying to say, and people as Mr. Modi, and people will stand by me, people will stand up with me, and then people will make sure that I am elected as a prime minister. Just to add to this, in Bihar elections, for example, the firecrackers that were used in Bihar elections were named Modi Chakra and Modi Rocket. Mobile phone was also launched, Smart Namo, Saffron One was the model. Then there was a TV channel of Namo Gujarat, then Namo apps, then games, and then there were merchandise, t-shirts and caps and masks that were branded with ModiJi. The additional important point that उनके लिए गंगा नदी है, मेरे लिए गंगा माँ है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल. दिस इज अ वेरी बिग डिफरेंशिएटर. मुझे गंगा मैया ने बुलाया है. सो बेसिकली आई एम मेकिंग श्योर दैट आई एम आल्सो वन ऑफ यू एंड गंगा माँ हैज कॉल्ड मी. The message is very important. So other than this also, while working, he has used Twitter to a maximum possible extent. For example, whenever he goes for abroad for international meetings and meetings with international leaders, he makes sure that the photographs or the selfies are published across the social media platforms to make sure that we also are at the equal level, or we are at par with Barack Obamas and James Camerons of the world, and we are there hobnobbing with them and making sure that we are at the same level with doing business with them. The political business or the industrial business or the agreements, for example. So India was basically, the idea is to portray image of India as an upcoming superpower, and we are no less than any of the superpowers. So this is called diplomacy, wherein he is using all this messaging, all these visual aspects of photographs and selfies to make sure that Jinping, for example, coming to Ahmedabad, so all these aspects. So he has used digital media very beautifully, and he's one of the biggest influencers that we have in India across the globe, so to say. Because I think only Barack Obama has more following than him from political class. And he is actually working on it to improve it. The next stages are, let me just repeat, I think he has 95 million Twitter followers, then Instagram is 86.86 million, Facebook is 49 millions, YouTube is 21.9 million followers. So at the click of a button on social media platforms, and all these are very well synchronized with each other. They execute the same message, they release the same information to all the people, so there is no misinformation or confusion in the minds of the people, in the minds of the audience. So the next stage, I think, what we are looking at is now 2024 elections are around the corner. So next stage we are looking at is, I think, the advanced technology, trend analysis, data mining, data crawling, artificial intelligence, NLP, neuro linguistic programming, and then the or data science, for example. All this will be utilized to make sure this trend analysis, for example, what pockets are good for us for as a political entity, what pockets can be challenging for us, how can we make sure that we influence people in those strong pockets and the weak pockets, and how do we cultivate and nurture the strong pockets, whereas how we can get into the big pockets and what messaging needs to be done. So trend analysis is very important. An important point from trend analysis perspective is, I'm sure there are solutions or there are methods of making sure that we understand what the text that are trending, what actions are trending, what networks are trending, what apps are trending, what hyperlinks are trending, what search engine is saying, and what location layers, for example, situational or regional, what are the important issues that needs to be addressed region wise or location wise. So all these intelligence is now getting it built, and I'm sure as an influencer, as a digital media content creator, I'm sure, and as an astute politician, I'm sure Mr. Modi will work on all these aspects and make sure that the messaging about the vision is still there. Amrut Kal, for example, is our sense of urgency that we must work towards 10 billion economy. For that matter, we must have the Olympics in Ahmedabad. So all these aspects wherein the timelines are specified, and Mr. Modi wants us to participate and influence, for example, how India grows in the globe in stature as well as in business as well as a society or a community. So all these aspects I just thought of sharing with you. Mr. Modi is obviously a positive politician. I'm repeating again, but he's a fantastic influencer, a digital content creator who has showed us the way by going the way. And I'm sure a lot of people will be following what he's doing in political life as well as personal life as well as social life. Thank you very much.